with us in the studio to tell us more about this is the convener of the program, Biodun Kupoluyi. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you, Biodun.
Is it about catching them young, or just about improving, the sector?
Or just about entertainment?
Well, all in one, all in one. Actually, I'm interested in the fact that we are losing the band culture in Nigeria. And of course, if we are not careful, we lose all that made the great KSA, the great Abisaobi, Osita Osadibi and others, because the new generation is all about digital. There's no problem about digital, but I'm concerned about the fact that, in a critical economy like Lagos State, that where music generally, are generated and of course give Lagos fame. Look, it's just about that everybody is talking about the fact that Lagos is huge economically and so on and so forth. But what really made Lagos, to be in the forefront in many hearts is entertainment. That's why they said a go for show. But we are losing it because brands are no longer vibrant again. That's why many nightclubs, all you get is just DJ track one, DJ do this and so on. So we now talked about the fact that we can get this thing done by catching them young, by engaging those children to understand the fact that their talents can be well managed. If you check churches, even mosques and other places, even your home, you see your children, you can see their dexterity on guitar, on keyboard, pianos, and so on. So where are we taking them to? Unfortunately, we don't have performing schools in Nigeria, or like abroad, whereby you will show, you may see what you can do. They will make sure they tailor you, direct you towards a performing school. So this is going to be like a stopgap, and of course, try to show the children that look, we can actually manage your talent from this stage. So we can see whether you are good at guitar, whether you are good at music, and most importantly to engage, in a live band culture. And this is another way to preserve our culture, our historical heritage, everything will be preserved this way. And of course, to let people understand how much talent are within us, especially among our children.
In trying to brush the skills, certainly this could go a long way in painting and brushing the skills in children, but they also need consistency to be able to, the ones who don't really know how to before and they want to know how to play instruments, get used to issues of notes and all of that. And if they have to be that consistent, that would require a lot of time. Wouldn't that interfere with their studying?
It's like you had the peep at a plan.
Oh, okay, you have that plan already?
Yeah, because there's a spin-off.
Okay.
And the spin-off is this. During holidays, we're going to have Lagos High School Music Challenge Camp. Where children will come, and of course we have the likes of, foremost producers like Lalu Kings, and others, even the younger generations, even Audio Oroje. And Audio Oroje, you could recall, it was one who produced Nigeria's first music band, and that is the St. Gregory Boys that did Ofege. So he's also involved, so we are getting all of them involved in all of this, so that during the spin-off, they can actually ask the children to come. We have a place, is either we lodge them or they come on a daily basis, and of course, that will also prepare them for the next. Like
a boot camp.
That's it. That will also prepare them for the next edition, so that you can imagine the frenzy, among secondary school students when they are playing, and then of course we have cheerleaders among them, hailing them, trying to urge them to move on to do this and do that, and of course with television. Like TVC behind us, I know we can go places.
All right, so after the discovery of talent, what's next? Because many would think, yes, this student, for example, is good, very good, and then you help the student channel his talent. What's next for that student? Would you start taking him on a tour and then Banda's education?
Definitely. This is not peculiar to us alone. Like in UK and US, schools go on tour, school bands go on tour. In fact, they also perform at state functions. Like maybe TVC wants to do an end of the year party. If they're so good at what they do, they will be your artists. And of course you support more talents there. Secondly, we have plans to make sure that they record an album. They will record an album. We don't get to have, since Benita, we don't get to have any young person doing an album in this country. Are we saying we don't have
Benita
talent?
has now grown.
She's grown. She's married with a kid.
Exactly.
With a kid. So what is happening to us? Who is managing these talents? And of course, in a way, they will be told that talent is not enough. In the sense that, look, You don't say because you are a big star that you start engaging in drugs. They will tell them the dangers.
Or you don't go back to school
Or
because
you don't go,
they manage them well abroad.
You must go back to school. That is very important. You see, it is the notion. The idea is to make sure that you combine your talent with academic excellence, and that's very, very important. You combine your talent with academic excellence.
We won't support you.
No, we will not.
Okay.
We will not. You see, but we also need to get this thing right, this time around. When you are a big star, it doesn't mean that you cannot listen to your parents or try to do what is expected of you by the society. They must go pari passu. That is why we are coming in now. We want to make sure that talents are well valued.
All right, Biodun Kupoluyi, this is where we leave it now, but we thank you for coming on the program. As time goes on, certainly we will have the opportunity to discuss this again, and then also
the progress of the program.
The progress of the program, because whatever brings out the best in people is what we stand for. Thank you so much.